You see, I'm willing to flatten my head for you people.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Thrift Stores. I'm Scott. You know what? This is unusual, I think, for me to be out thrifting on a Monday morning. Typically, I steer clear. But I said, why not? And right off the bat, I found a black console bowl. This is from the 30s. I'll hold it up so you can see it. There it is. Now, there's a few scratches, but the rest of that is just residue around the outside, and I can clean that up. I can tell by the style of the mold and the base that it's a 1930s, and there it is at $6. But it is a black glass bowl, console bowl. So we'll add that to the autumn extravaganza items. This is a pretty delicate little pattern. Why don't we take a look? And it is lovely, made in England. Can you see it? Zoom in there. You see that? Very nice. I happened to just turn around very quickly and look, here's another piece of black glass. Now you can see I'm not getting it for 50 cents each. $6 for this one. This, I think, is L.E. Smith by that tab handle. It sort of looks like Mount Pleasant. We'll put that back in there. So it's nice, you know, I do need black glass for Halloween. Oops. So I think we're doing all right. Ah, look, somebody was just asking me the other day. They said, you know, I thought you were collecting a pattern that looked autumnal. And, well, I am, and it's called Rust Bouquet. And here's a piece of it. I'm not going to purchase it because I don't need it. And this is rather faded. Look at that. That's funny because there's nothing on the back. But if I'm remembering correctly, it's a Crooksville pattern. I've got, 50 pieces of this, and I'm going to be pulling that out of the attic and probably decorating the china closet with it this autumn season instead of the Normandy glassware in marigold that I used last autumn. We don't want to do the same thing. Now, there's a piece of furniture you recognize because everybody had one. And sometimes it's just the desk, and sometimes the secretary is on top of it, usually called Governor Winthrop desks. This is a beautiful one in mahogany with serpentine front drawers. These have been made for decades and decades, and they're still making variations of them today. That one is priced at a whopping $19. Good grief. The inside looks very nice. All of the drawers, yep. It's all there. We'll walk around to the back of it and see if it has a furniture label. I like to do that. Sometimes they do have labels, and then sometimes there's a decal in the drawer itself. This one probably dates to the 1920s or 30s. That's a great deal as well, although there are some condition problems. Now, that piece is a Depression-era piece of furniture, and of course that form has been around for centuries. It's for the bedroom, and you can see it's pretty. It looks like it's what's called tiger maple because of the grain. And but sadly on the top, the pediment and the scrolls and everything have been completely broken off of the top. Who knows why that happened, but those are the scars of life. But yes, solid wood, beautifully made, and I wouldn't be, there's the desk. So it's always nice to have this in a bedroom. What looks as if it's going to be another drawer, but it has this lock right here. So you know that it's a desk. Sorry, now that doesn't quite want to stay shut. Once again, made in the 1930s, and you could really do something with that. The sound of breaking glass is because they're clearing off the shelves on Monday morning, and you hear what happens to a lot of the items that haven't sold. They get thrown into a bucket and smashed. That's what's happening. But 1930s, and even without its top, that's still very attractive, and it's only 29 bucks. 29 bucks. Some very nice furniture here. Haha, look, we've been talking about the Georgian pattern now for a couple of days. Here is one tumbler in cobalt blue. And you know what? If it was 99 cents, I'd buy it. If it was $1.99, I'd buy it. But you know what, Goodwill? I am not giving you $7 for one. Sorry. Okay. Was I in your way? Okay. Okay, she's a sweetheart. See, I don't have time to pay $7 for that. How ridiculous. She's such a sweetie. Oh, one of my favorite 80s songs just came on the radio, but I can't sing it because I'll get a copyright strike. Can you hear it in the back? Do you know what it is? It was in the top 40. I don't think it was ever a top hit. Anyway, I think you might remember it. Stand in that place where you work. Think about direction. Okay, people are looking at me.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Well, in this business, you can leave the house at 8 a.m. or lunchtime or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you just never know what you're going to come home with. When I got up this morning, did I think I was going to come home with a turn-of-the-century Bradley and Hubbard kerosene, aka Gone with the Wind lamp? No. Oh my goodness. All right, let's just talk about it for a minute. Bradley and Hubbard, 1850s, I think, up in Connecticut. This probably dates to the 1890s to about 1910, so we'll say circa 1900. I hear you, Blue Jay. Hold on. He sees me out here on the porch, and he wants a peanut. Hand-painted glass. Let's move in on it. Well, before I move in, what looks fishy? Let's zoom in here. The fishy part is way out of proportion here. This is all wrong. So from here on up to about there, all original, and then it was electrified. This can be reversed and no damage has been done. Nothing has been drilled. The font has a cylindrical opening, and there's a rod that was meant to go up through the font so that the iron base could be attached to the whole thing. So easy fix, and right now it's very precariously sitting there. But what I'll do is we'll get this is when it was electrified, this and this was added. From here down, it's original. Now this has been hiding in an old New Jersey attic for years and years and years. A lot of these lamps were electrified in the 1960s. It was kind of a thing, and in the 70s, but the font is under here. The oil font is under here, and boy, it needs a good cleaning. This has been stuck in an attic for a long time. Look how pretty. This is cast iron on the bottom, which would have been gilded. These almost look like 3-leaf clovers here. Yeah. And then I'll let you see the hand-painted. What have we got there? Plums or peaches? I get my peaches down in Georgia. I don't know if those are plums or peaches. You decide. My goodness. It's amazing to think that something this old, all it needed to do was to be toppled over, and then the shade is gone. So fantastic to find an original shade. It is filthy, and I'll sort of completely paint it on the back as well. And my plans probably to go ahead and get the correct fitter, the burner, and well, you know, I haven't decided. Sometimes you just leave that up to the new owner. It's not been altered, and people say, oh, what a shame. Well, it's not really a shame, because if this hadn't been electrified, it probably would have been thrown out. That's probably what saved it. Yeah. So no shame. Not even a problem if it remains electrified. I would, however, replace this so that it's a little bit lower. This brass, the socket, the body of the socket is here, where it really should be up inside the shade, and the shade should be lower. There's too much distance between the two glass globes, so this is a little honky-tonk. So if this is going to remain electrified, and they also did drop a light bulb into the bottom. So that's one of the neat things with it being electrified, is you can light the bottom and the top, or both at the same time, and use it very safely. So electrified or as an oil lamp, either way, kerosene lamp, it's still pretty. Now these don't have the value that they once did, but there's no way for $29 for $29 was I not going to purchase that lamp. Can't you see that on an old marble top table circa 1890? That lamp was probably in use when McKinley was in office. Anyway, that's an exciting find. I've got some other things to show you too, but I just wanted to pop on and share that with you. What do you think? Do you like it? I love it. All right, Blue Jay, here I come. Quit squawking. Now look, that is an antique, okay? If you study it closely, you'll realize it's a piece of pressed glass, early American pressed glass, and that doggone thing is at least 120 years old. This probably goes back to the 1880s or 1890s. I don't know the pattern, and it doesn't make any difference, because it's only $3 and I have to buy it. Look at that pattern. Look at the way it's embossed. That is very, you know, it's a serving piece for the table. And I'm gonna be able to look through my EAPG books and find it. So yes, I'm putting that down into my cart right there, and I don't need another one of those. David, you don't either, because I've got one for you. Everybody can see it right here. The big Manhattan tray that doesn't have its little things in it. You know what I'm trying to say. And then, let's see, what do I want to show you over here? You know, just some Japanese pottery from the 20s and 30s, and oh good grief, my mother had a ton of that in the attic. I think that was a wedding gift in 1963. I don't remember what it is. I don't even think she has it anymore. Good grief, it says color fast, oven proof, blah 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 blah, Steubenville pottery. Yeah, well anyway, a lot of you might remember that. I remember that, snooping around in the attic. There's a lot of these dishes here, but you know, yeah, Nortaki. So gosh, don't we wish, there's, look, blue willow, a red willow, ton of that. And then there's a Hazel Atlas crisscross reamer, which I don't need for $5. So anyway, well, I'm excited about this EPG. Well, here's something fun to look at. And can you ooh, wait a minute. I turned my head. Oh, come out of there. Come out of there. Wait a minute. Did you fool me? You did. You fooled me. See, this was turned this way, and I saw this much of it. So I saw the bun feet right there, see? And then I saw that this box is made of mahogany, but it's not that old. It's probably made in the 60s. London what? London leather? Anyway, it's okay. It just doesn't have the age that I'd like it to have. There's a music box in there, and I don't know what it plays, but I mean, it's okay, but it's trying to look like English Jacobean furniture, but it's something from the 60s. So I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. But I did want to talk about this mirror, which I'm not gonna buy. Look closely, we can see this is old, and look at the artificial graining here. I don't think it's showing up. There you can see it a little bit better. The artificially grained wood. See that? That's all paint. You can see it much better up here, near the top. But see the gold in the mirror? That was a warning to me because these mirrors didn't usually have that. So if we turn it over to the back, we can clearly see that the mirror has been replaced. So it's an old frame from about 1920, but the mirror glass is new. It still looks okay. I think it harmonizes. I'm not a huge fan of this, which is very 80s, 90s, but still very pretty. And at $5, that frame is well worth it. I think someone repainted the gold. Yeah, you can see at the top here that this has been touched up, and this has been overpainted, but the wood grain is original. It's still very pretty, and someone I think would enjoy that for $5, but not me. Okay. Yes, look. Just this morning when I got out of bed, I was hoping that I would find a tumbler today with Spiro Agnew, Tom DeLay, and Strom Thurmond. Strom is looking a little bit like Jack Benny, isn't he? I don't want that. Anyway, there's a lot of glass here, a lot of it. And look at that. Oh my gosh, look at it. Look. I came down on the floor to look at these, and look what's hiding. Like some awful spider waiting to get me. I can't go anywhere. All right, well, look at these. And these, I just had the Navarre. Yeah, wait, oops, sorry, you're not in the camera. Oh, wait a minute. Put that on the floor. Oh, this camera work is horrible today. Come here to me. Isn't that? Yeah, we just had that a couple days ago, but there's some stems. All right. That was there, and that was there. Look at that. All right, I think I've been out of focus and out of frame the whole time. That whole sequence was just terrible. Perfect for the holiday baking season. I love the orange handle and the orange lid and nut meat chopper. Okay, David, we are going to rebuild your Manhattan collection one piece at a time. There's that vase. Yep, and with the boop, 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 boop on the bottom. You guys know the Park Avenue one doesn't have the boop, 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 boop on the bottom. Now this is filthy, but it's the kind of filth that will come out. So this is not water damaged. So I have that. Tammy, you know anything that's orange and from the 70s, I'm buying for you. You know that. And then we're going to make some cookies with that around Halloween time. There's my pretty little Fenton hobnail in blue. That I'll save for my snow and ice extravaganza that happens every January when we take all the Christmas decorations down. And then, yes, that's that same bowl that I found in jadeite. And then as you get into the 40s, the sun is washing it out. They turn into milk glass. So there's the mixing. It's a little one, but somebody will want that as maybe as a replacement for one of their electric mixers. There's the Victorian EAPG little dish for serving. We'll see that some other time. I could not say no to these. Now there are only 3. Doggone it. Why couldn't there be 4? Well, let me open them up. I feel very certain that these are Depression era. Now it is clear glass with a fired on sort of a satiny yellow finish. And I think these are from the 40s. Only 3. Yeah. Maybe I can figure out the manufacturer and then find some more. And then the last thing to show you from today is the sun. A lid. But it's not just a lid. It's a teapot and a lid. But it's not just a teapot and a lid. It's that thing, which is called a drippolator. And that thing, which is where you put your tea leaves or your coffee. Look at that. So I know the sun is washing it out. It all stayed together, right? Put your tea in the top. Yeah, your tea, not your... Pour the water over it. And then it'll drip in. That's the drippolator part. And then it lands in the teapot on the bottom. And the bottom of it says, oven-proof oven to tableware. Don't tell us who made it. Probably something from the 50s is my guess on that. Okay, that was a quick shopping trip, and this video is probably not going to be long enough, so if you see me changing clothes in a second, it means that I took you shopping tomorrow. That didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. See you soon.